So, just a brief caveat on this interview. We had to record this over a series of days because of technical issues, but it's all good. As business owners, we know that sometimes not everything goes the way that we plan them to go, but we make it work regardless. And so, please enjoy this podcast interview. Hello and welcome to my Business Story podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Perez. Today, our guest is Angela Lewis. She's the owner of Hello Gorgeous, a beauty and wellness salon in Groton, Connecticut. She's a licensed hairstylist that works towards making you whole again with a focus on bringing you back to you. Hello, Angela. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Giant. Thanks for having me.
Problem. Well, so full disclosure, Angela is part of my Gold Star networking group. We've been in this group for a while, and she is one of the many stars that makes our group shine bright. And I wanted to have her on here so we could talk a little bit more about her salon as well as what got her there. So, Angela, first question as always. Can you take us back to the beginning? What were you doing before you started your business and getting you to work on here?
So, in the 80s, I was working at a salon, washing towels and washing hair. And then eventually I became a licensed stylist. And from there, I worked at one salon for a long, long period of time. Then I went to another town, which was a little bit just a little different of a clientele because I worked at a shampoo set store. So in the 80s, everything was about shampoo and sets.
Mhm.
I evolved to hair cuts and blow dries and colors. Then I went to the casino where I was able to work on some celebrities. And it was more about timing and just maybe you don't see these people as long term customers, but they're just in and out. Um,
Yeah.
so then I opened up a salon, a nail shop, and I turned around and sold that to the girls that worked there. Then I opened another nail shop, and I'm recently going through a sale and purchase in the next 2 weeks. And now I have this salon, which has hair and massage and nails will be on the menu. We have Reiki and we have just a bunch of makeup artistry, just a lot of add-ons to not just having hair.
Awesome, awesome. And what was the spark, or moment that made you leap into, turning into a, uh, someone that would do a 9 to 5 into starting your own business? What sort of brought you there?
So I think working at the casino showed me that being a hairstylist at the casino, I had to work in a certain window.
Mm,
So I had to work weekends, I had to work holidays, I had to work this and I had to work that. And I noticed that in the back room when the girls were complaining,
mm,
they didn't want to work weekends or they didn't want to work whatever it was, whatever holiday they celebrated. I had decided, well, if I open up a salon, I'm going to allow them to not come and go as they please, but to take off. It's not a corporation; it's a family business. So if they needed Easter off or a vacation because their family goes to a beach home for a week, that I would grant them all that. So when some people come in happy to work all the time,
mhm.
it shows in their work and they're happy to be here. And that's my main thing is as long as you're happy when you're pulling into this driveway, everything's good. But the minute you feel like you're pissed off for coming to work, let me know and we're going to figure this out.
So, did you have a clear plan, or were you just sort of figuring out as you sort of went along with your business ventures?
So I think it's just opportunity. The opportunity came kind of like in my lap. I have a nail salon and it offered probably three spaces.
Mhm.
One space was available. An esthetician came in and she was looking for a space. And I'm like, yeah, come right in. And the day it was time to sign a contract, she had opened up the door and like backdraft the movie.
Hmm.
All of the scents from the nail salon, the acrylics, the gels came in to our nose like the Snoopy cartoon. You could just see the smoke coming to our nose. I looked at her, she looked at me, and I said, "This isn't going to work, is it?" She said, "No, I'm so sorry because, be getting a facial, you're lying there and you're relaxing and you hear beautiful music. and you smell beautiful things. You don't smell acrylic or gel. And I
Mhm.
said, give me 1 minute. So I went outside and I said, what am I going to do? So I called a girlfriend who happened to close during COVID. And I called her and I said, hey, what do you got going on with your salon? She said, nothing. And I said, can I renovate it? She said, you've never even seen it. And I said, I've got it. Yeah, I said, can I meet you in an hour? She said, yeah, let's meet in an hour. I met her in an hour. I had a contract and rest was history. But it was just opportunity. I didn't wanna I'm I'm not I guess I'm the yes man, and I didn't wanna disappoint this esthetician,
Mhm.
and, that's really what happened, and then I have a partner that backed me 100%, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do this," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do it," and, it's come with some things that we didn't really think about because it happened, so fast, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, and what were the in those beginning stages, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced early on?
So not in the beginning stage, it's still challenging, is, we closed on the property and it happened to be right when the tax bill is due. So I tried to push it back and I knew why I was pushing it back because of the tax.
Mhm.
The girl that sold it to me, she also knew that the tax bill is coming and she's like, "Nope, we're gonna stay on target." So I got faced with this huge debt, which is mine, and, I'm to be honest with you, I'm still paying taxes to catch up from purchasing it because I didn't have the funds coming in. So every dollar I make, I put into the place and I've been renovating as I go.
Mhm.
Would I do it differently? 100%.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm doing it this way to know I would do it differently 100%.
Yeah. And what was there a moment, when, if ever that you wanted to quit, like, I hate hair, I don't wanna do hair anymore. If so, what kept you sort of, in this business?
So I will be honest with you. I do help a lot of girls get their schooling through the state of Connecticut. The state of Connecticut has a lot of funds
Mhm.
available. It's called American Job Center, and a lot of people have gone through there. And I said I put my name on the line, and I said I will hire them.
Mhm.
And so it's been several nail techs, estheticians, massage therapists, hairdressers. They've gone and they've gotten a career. So with that, I have helped them raise their family and, work for their own families. And that's one of the things that keeps driving me is
Mhm.
it's just for some reason these people they're placed in front of me and I can't walk away from that.
Yeah.
So I have a
So
couple people in school right now that are going through school, hoping to get a job when they come out. And 100% I don't want to fail that.
yeah. So in other words, you help start families and keep families together kinda thing.
I help them support their family. Absolutely.
That's awesome, that's
They
beautiful.
have to do the work though. They have to do the work. And one thing is you can't give hustle and drive to someone. You have
Mhm.
people come and go.
Yep.
I had one girl, beautiful. So when she ever said she was going to school, she got approved through American Job Center for both aesthetics and massage therapy. I was like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, this girl is so marketable.
Mhm.
And, I haven't heard from her since, and neither did, Job Center. She was approved, and then just something happened, and, she just so things like that happen. She's my first, unsuccessful story,
Yeah.
but everyone else, yeah, they've gone through the program, they've gotten their license,
Yeah.
and that's just it. It's a trade. You can do this not just in Connecticut, but all over the world.
Yeah. What's your sort of talking about hair? And I know a little bit about it. I did years ago date a colorist, hairstylist and everything. And also my sister, she went to Brio Academy for hair and everything. So she's my youngest sister, so we talk about hair and she's done my hair before. What's your favorite, I guess, type of hair or preference on, what do you really like to do as pertains to hair?
For hair services, there are so many services that the trends are always changing and doing different things. Going back to oh my gosh, the 80s. It's shampoo sets, not the shampoo set part of it, but a hot roller set with an updo.
Mhm.
It can be so classic and those never go out of style because I usually wear my hair down or up either way, but you've got your proms, your weddings, any kind of special event, or you just want to feel pretty, you do an updo. And that's a staple.
Yeah. That's good. Um, do you do you have any mentors or communities that you're part of, um, or unexpected support along the way that sort of keeps you, on in line?
Yeah, so my first salon, Marion's Haircraft, she was the one where I did towels and stuff like that. Then I went to Sue Ellen's. Sue Ellen is still a local here. She's retired, but she drove a baby blue Toyota Corolla. And I said, boy, when I make it, I'm gonna drive one of those. Just it was just a fancy car, it was a two-door. But but aside from that, she had this team of girls and she was everyone just they did their own thing. They respected her. They appreciated her. Have I had mentors along the way? Yes. So she was someone I looked up to. She was my inspiration. But going into SCORE,
Mm,
they've helped a lot. There's a Margot that has helped me a lot, and SCORE does a great thing of connecting you with people in your industry,
mhm.
and I still talk to them to this day, and they've helped me along with different businesses that I own
Yeah, yeah.
and get me on track, and they say it the way it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Score is really good. I would suggest anyone that's watching this, even if you think everything's perfectly fine in your business, there's someone in Score or, connections within Score that could give you ideas and give you different ways of thinking about your business that you never thought of because it's like sort of comparing you and your experience with someone that has 30 more years of experience. They're probably gonna know a couple more things than you and give you more ideas. I did speak with a score earlier this year, actually. Things were, like, super slow. I'm like, "Why is it so slow? What am I not doing?" And ended up I found out after I did speak with Score, the guy from Score, he's like, "You're doing everything. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing." It ended up being an industry slowdown for my businesses, for photography and video, maybe because of AI or whatever for particularly for the wedding industry. Just less and less people are getting married, and if they are getting married, they're doing elopements. And I wasn't doing elopements, and so now I'm doing elopements. And so I added that to my business, and I also added on wedding photography. We weren't doing wedding photography before; it was wedding films. And so now we're doing packages for do to do both, and just those little things. I welcome the slowdowns. I welcome when things aren't working out for a season, and they tend to add more business versus the opposite. It may look like a slowdown, with the naked eye, in the natural kind of thing, but then when you actually, push through and you try to figure it out, you scratch your brain and you make it work and you see what is working in the industries that are around your what you do for a living, and then you end up making more money than losing in the back end because you add more revenue streams that you didn't think about before. Um, and so as it pertains to the grind for you, how did you keep things going when the hype and the shiny newness of cutting hair and doing hairs, wore off?
So it's the people that work here. It's different personalities. It's as a salon is well as one girl's walking in, one girl's walking out, and then sometimes they both walk in together, and it's the dynamic of having one person, three people, 10 people. It's just the energy is constantly shifting, and that is fun to me. Even when there's a situation, we do try to solve it in-house, but when it doesn't, then it comes to me. When I say this, I said, "Listen, I am the girl's girl. We have to figure this out. You figure this out first between whoever you have a problem with, and if you cannot, then come to me. We are adults. I only hire adults." And
Mm,
they remember that, but that's literally a part of the interview is like, I don't welcome gossip and I don't welcome
good.
haters. I just don't. And it's funny, when people say you attract the energy you are,
Mm.
I don't have situations here. And when there is a situation, it works itself out or it works itself out.
That's good. I really like the what you're saying with the hiring adults. Yes, that's good. but then also the gossiping part, because that's one thing that it's similar to a bartender, right? Cutting people's hair. It's like you're you're a stylist, you're doing color or whatever, but then you're also sort of like a counselor without without, certification. Some people end up getting certification to be a counselor, uh, after, having that kind of job or owning that kind of business. Same for bartenders. It's like they go there, and for an hour, 2 hours, they get talk about your life, go through stuff, and, as talking about that, has there been any kind of really interesting people come in with very interesting stories that you could talk about at all?
So,
You could change the names too if you want.
yeah, so at the casino, I've done some celebrities and I've been very lucky to that. I saw Michael, who, well, God, no, Magic Johnson in the
Oh,
hallway. So I'm like, hey, Michael, I said, when you get a chance, I'll edge you up. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but whatever. So he comes in and he sits in my chair and we're talking. And this is before Billy Banks' day.
uh,
And we're talking and he's talking about his wife Cookie and I'm cutting his hair and everything. And then he goes, yeah, one of my friends, he's into this Taibo thing and he's gonna come up with some videos. He goes,
oh,
I'm gonna support him.
mhm,
And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. But I'm into fitness too. So I was listening to him. He goes, does he like punches and kicks? And I'm like, I hope it works out. It was before he was way above, way in front of the industry, and it worked out obviously. So that was really cool.
mhm,
Um, yeah, and it. But what's really cool is working all the decades that I've worked,
yeah,
seeing people date, get married, have children. I'm doing their children's hair now,
mhm,
and it's just these tentacles that are all in the community. I do their cousins or I do their nephews, and it's just we're connected. I've been in Groton since the '70s,
wow,
so yeah. So I don't know if that's a win or not, but yeah. So it's interesting how people are connected.
yeah. That's weird because you look so good for 30. Yeah.
Ooh.
So what habits or mindsets, sort of help you push through, those tough times, in business?
So, I don't have another option. I'll be honest with you. I worked at a casino that at the casino doing hair, like I said, and in other jobs, and there was no retirement. So, I'm building my retirement and it's, probably a little late, but I'm just going to stay at it. And yeah, I don't have another option. Like failure is not one of the words I work with. And do I mess up on some things? Sure. Now I know not to do it that way.
Mm,
But I don't have another option. I just keep going. But I enjoy working. I enjoy being in the salon. I enjoy doing things. I enjoy the behind the scene things. Didn't love paperwork, but it's a part that comes with it. And I'm trying to wrap my head around that. And that's just yeah, it's just you don't have an option, you just do.
yeah, that's awesome. It sort of keeps you from wandering too far, from, "Hey, I'm a hairstylist. Let me try starting a garden," kinda thing. I mean, that's great. That's good hobby stuff, but your focus has been the salon, right? And that's still your
We
passion. Yeah.
we do have a beautiful garden. We do. My last salon polished in New London, we actually got an award for being a beautification situation at that salon as well. I do a lot of gardens if there's any land, and there's land here, so they're beautiful flowers.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I guess I said something that was valid. Okay.
Yeah. It's beautification in and out.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So how has your definition of success changed since you started, in your business?
So, I don't have like a number on success. I have like a feeling, I guess. And for me, success is honestly helping others achieve things, which helps me. And it really is here. That's how it has to be. The more you help someone get to where they need to be, the better off you are.
Mhm,
And with the commission salon, the way that it is, I do pass a lot of well, everyone that comes in new the door, the other stylists will get them before I do. It's just the way it goes. You try to. I guess it's not judge, but you try to think about who's going to be better suited with someone. And you have to put them in their specialty categories. I have girls that work with Brazilian blowouts. I have girls that are curl specialists. I have girls that do not want to do kids. Like you have to
Yeah.
know what their category is and put it appropriately.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those.
And we're back. Sorry for that technical difficulty. We had some issues, and we're back on a separate day, and we're going to continue. So here we are. Welcome back, Angela.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right. So to continue on where we left off, have you ever had to shut down something or walk away from a business venture?
I have walked away from business ventures before. I had a school once with a friend of mine, and it was a barbering school and cosmetology school. And then we also had a barber shop. And then in addition to that, she had a beauty shop.
Hmm.
And it was right before COVID. We didn't know it was coming, but it was right before COVID. I had put in my notice of like, I don't think this is serving my purpose anymore in January. And March is when everything happened.
Yeah.
But it was good call on both of us. Like we both have flourished since then.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people flourished after COVID, especially like for my wedding business and my real estate business. Real estate for sure, because um, a lot of people were trying to move out or trying to move in.
Right.
I'm sure you're aware of all that influx of people leaving New York to go to New England. And so that was the biggest year ever for us. I know for a couple of our friends, that was the biggest year for a lot of people. It was like, uh, and fortunately, a lot of the housing, the prices went up, and so it's like a lot of people are now sort of now starting to look into changing it up. But it was really nice, and then for the weddings, they forced me to actually hire contractors and hire employees and hire all those things. So it's really wild. So as that sort of grew and progressed for you, what did that experience teach you about failure or even about yourself in the reshaping of business?
So for me, as a teacher owning a school, I love to help other people. I love to educate people. But for me, I don't love the paperwork aspect of it. I don't love the compliances of it. I don't
Yeah.
love that. I felt trapped as a teacher. If it was a 9 to 5 job, I had to be there 8:30 to 5:30. I could not leave the premise. It was tough. And if there was one student that showed up or 5, 15 students that showed up, it didn't matter. I had to stay on the property. So that was tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing for my wife. She really helps me a lot with the back end stuff, bookkeeping. I still handle the day-to-day client relations, but that's my next thing. Just having to be an intern, just handle incoming, outgoing, for revisions. Oh, that's I want to say it's the worst, but it can be the most monotonous. The stuff that you do day in and day out.
But you're gonna find someone that they love that
Yeah.
aspect of it, and for you, it's like, ugh, mundane, but,
Yeah.
you know, for me, paperwork is not the way to go, but I have found people that love paperwork.
Hmm. But I think that's pretty uh even across the board for creatives. We love to be in the art versus the minutia of the contracts and questionnaires and all the monotonous things. For me as a creative, as us as creatives, I feel like we really enjoy creating and really really getting our hands dirty, quote unquote. Probably yours more so than mine, uh, with hair.
Same.
Yeah. And skin, ugh. Full of skin particles. um but it's something that keeps us flowing, right? And
Absolutely.
then with that, I guess sometimes doubt creeps in, fear creeps in, and of course burnout. What kind of things have you sort of adopted to help you deal with all of that?
So, burnout really doesn't happen for me, I think, in the salon because it's always something new. It's just a different situation, different girls, different dynamics, different everything is always going on. Even though it's the same, it's never the same,
Hmm.
and yeah, I enjoy the salon. So for me, it works. And there's 2 levels to it. So meaning 2 floors. Upstairs, we have skin. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know about that.
Hmm.
And then downstairs, it's just hair, and that's ever growing all the time, ever changing. And I'm always learning. And that's the thing about our salon is I'm definitely big on education.
Hmm.
And if you don't have X amount of months of education, I reduce the commission.
Hmm.
It's expected that you have education every 3 months, and you can't get by without that.
Yeah. Yes, that's really good. And continue education. So, for that, how often, like for a salon of your caliber, do you feel you need to? Because I don't really know for like to stay in the know. How often do you have to go to like seminars and different events? Is that required or just?
It's not required for anyone really in the industry. However, for my salon, it is to be on staff. So at least once a season, you have to get something under your belt. And I just, because everything's ever changing, but every season, something's new.
Yeah.
Even though, you do highlights, there's just different ways of doing highlights and the positioning of highlights and the amount of highlights and the colors that you use. It's just even though it's a basic color, it's not a basic color at all.
Mm, that's right. Uh, I know that. Looking back, after your many years of experience, what advice would you give to your past self? Little Angela.
So I wish that I had gone to a mall to learn how to do short haircuts, long haircuts, more diversity. I stayed in my area and I went to a mom's and pop shop. So in Groton, I was faced with shampoo sets at first, and shampoo sets gave me the foundation to updos and do things like that to understand that. However, I wish that I had gone to a mall where it was just more diverse. There's more military. There was just more
Yeah.
different types of hair, different types of everything.
Hmm.
And that's where I wish I had gone a little bit further, quicker, right out of school.
Yeah, yeah. I did a shoot once, filming for a place up here. It's called Gina Curl, up in East Haven here, and she has a proprietary salon formula. I guess a suite of formulas. I was filming, her applying and everything. Legit, it took about 4 hours to do one hair treatment, and it was for African, very curly hair, very tight kind of thing. And so her solution was to make it, very straight, very fluid, everything like that. Um, but it took forever. I felt so bad for the girl. It was like one lady, like 5, 6 hours, just one treatment.
Absolutely. That's common. But yeah, it's a day's event and people look forward to it. So, and I tell the hairdressers all the time, I've got a young staff. You can't be late. There's just all these things because people really look forward and they
Yeah,
they work around their schedule
yeah,
according to an appointment.
yeah, and
That's
it's
just
not
it,
cheap.
5 hours.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's a couple $100, right? For me, I'm used to my 40, think of it around $40 plus tip or whatever every month, once a
Okay.
month kind of thing. And so for that kind of treatment, how long does that last for?
It depends what she has done. I don't know. Did she have like a Brazilian blowout? Did she have like,
I have no idea.
yeah, I'm not
It was
sure.
a few
Yeah.
days shoot.
Yeah.
But it was like, say for that type of, yeah, say for something like that, how long does, like, say a perm or, from super curly to super straight, how long does that last for?
So if you change the texture of the hair, as soon as you have regrowth, that texture's changed. So it's just a matter of, so if you said she had really curly hair and then she had straight hair, about half of an inch per month, your hair grows.
Mhm.
So it depends how anal someone is. If they're like, oh, I've got to get this done the minute that they see regrowth or the curl, then that's once a month or every 2 months,
Yeah.
but then you've seen hair that I'm sure curly, 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 and then straight. That means, oh yeah, it was last
Yeah.
season that she got her hair
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Wow, that's intense. So what's one misconception people have about starting or even running a business from your experience?
Um, so for me, I would say just the back end of things. So like for me, you do, it's never the right time. So don't think everything, the timing has to be perfect. I wish I had a little money saved up for the taxes. I talk about that a lot, but my taxes really ate me up at first,
Mhm.
and I'm gaining momentum on that. But it's, it's finding the right staff is really important too. So the misconceptions of everything that has to be perfect, it doesn't. It's going to work out the way you want it to be. And it's so true. You do attract the people who you are. Like I
Mhm.
look around my shop, although we're all so different, we've got so many similarities,
Mhm.
and our age difference varies and just our likes. But at the end of the day, we're all people pleasers.
Yeah.
We all we all want that, so it just happens to be who we are.
Mhm. That's good. How has this journey changed you, as a person, throughout your whole experience, from starting a business and to where you are now?
So I I just said I was a people pleaser. I don't worry about people's schedules anymore. Like
Mm.
I do, but I don't. So they get to make their own schedules.
Mhm.
However, I have no tolerance for tardiness or not being prepared for your clients. And I expect the best from them. And before I used to kind of like not flip flop, but be too tolerant of things like that.
Mhm.
So it's changed me to be a little bit non-emotional about business decisions.
Yeah. Sometimes you sort of have to because it's business is business. But then people are people, and so you need to debating on who you're speaking to, who you hired to do such jobs. Or there are people I treat a certain way because I know that our relationship can handle that kind of response and vice versa, versus newcomers where I'm sort of still feeling them out, seeing what they're about, whether or not I still want to have them contract for me. And so that's definitely, I think that's a huge key to to really recognize who you're working with, who you hired to work for you, because that's going to either make or break your business. A lot of the time, because there's people that you think that can handle a certain job, and then halfway through, they're like, "Where did you go to school for this?" Because you're not cut out for this at all. Have you ever experienced those things?
Well, I think before I would make decisions based on their backstory. Oh, she's this, she's that. Oh, the family this, the family that. Oh, the car this, the dog that. And I have to take that emotional side out and be like,
Mhm.
professionally, this is where my salon needs to be.
Yeah.
And, this is where we need to be as a group. And I try to coach, how can I help you show up for work on time?
Yeah.
Or in the proper attire or not wear open toe shoes. So like that's one of our things is you
Mhm.
cannot wear open toe shoes in the salon
Yeah.
at all. And I had given someone forgiveness for a little bit and then I noticed someone wearing flip-flops. And flip-flops are not only not professional, but they're all toes are exposed.
Yeah.
So you just have to put, you're just like you give them an inch, they take a mile, you have to take it back, and now there's no inch or anything.
Yeah. Now they're looking for something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So any kind of other stories you want to put out there from your years of experience cutting hair, uh, something like that?
So I don't
Fairy
think
tales?
so okay, I will tell you this though. So I've been in the same area since I started here in the 70s. My first job was in the 80s. I opened a nail shop in the 90s. I opened a barbershop school in the early 2000s. And now I'm in a salon and it's in the industry. Yes, I see people that I started with.
Mhm.
They're now in a different position, but they're still in the industry. How you work with people, and when they say don't burn your bridges, you people that just burn their bridges, it's not good because you end up working with them if you stay in the same area.
Yeah.
Um, and I love my color. Um, she's my color rep. I love the people that sell at the wholesale shops. I love
Mhm.
other people. And for me, at our salon, we do education. I invite the whole community and I put it on, social media. Anyone that wants to learn about this line, come in. It's not completely the line, but
Mhm.
just learning color theory. There's
Yeah.
always something to learn or a color class, cutting class, whatever it is. And I just think that the beauty industry doesn't have to be cutthroat. It can be, we can share a lot of things, even if it's the salon that's next door or 2 towns over.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Then moving forward, what's next for you, Angela?
So I definitely want to go into I do want to open up another beauty shop, but I want it to be in a heavy populated area. So the demographics are a little stronger. It's nice to build where I've grown up and I know a lot of people and I give back to the community. However, I do want to go, I kind of want to be in a busy area and I'm underneath a building or condos or where it's business on the bottom, but living space on the top. I just want to be a part of like a city life
Mm-hmm.
where it's no matter what, there's someone coming in that door and cute little boutique, something small. I don't want it to be a spa, but just kind of hair, maybe a couple different things, but just busy
Yeah. So a
and
hole in the
warm.
wall. Oh, okay. A hole in the wall in Florida. I was gonna say, I was gonna say, Manhattan, but you said warm. Miami.
Yeah, my son had the chance to go to Tampa University 4 years ago, and it's funny. He's looking at the space, the school, the campus, and I'm looking at retail spaces.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And we sat and we had lunch. I said, I could open up a nail shop here. This is beautiful. Just because I was watching the traffic. So it's just trying to find the right opportunity at the right place.
Yeah, that's awesome. So any words for someone listening who just, just want to, hold on, let's try again. Any words for someone listening who's just about to start their own business or even opening up their own salon? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would give them advice to get a little bit of business background or at least find a mentor, go to SCORE, go somewhere, talk to someone that already owns the business, get friendly with someone that you're working with and shadow them. It's just, sorry, the phone's ringing. There's a lot behind the scenes that you don't know. Just because you're behind the chair and you're an amazing hairdresser doesn't mean you're a good business owner.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Did you want to start that over just because of
No, I'm fine unless they picked up.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So closing thoughts. Where can people connect with you or support your work?
So I am on Instagram. It's hellogorgeous391.glossgenius.com. But we're also on, no, I guess that's it. That was my email, not my Instagram. So they can connect with me at Gloss Genius,
Mhm.
and it's Hello Gorgeous, 391 Long Hill Road in Groton, 860-572-1010.
Beautiful. Any last words for anyone watching this podcast that you want to share with them?
So if they're still listening to this, God bless you. I don't know how long it is, but it's probably 2 hours now, or I don't know what you're going to cut it down to. But no, just I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say. I I don't.
Okay, cool. We'll cut that out. But
Yeah,
so
because I'm just trying to think. I don't have anything to say about anything really. I think you've covered a lot.
yeah, cool. All right. So let me just do like a final salutation with you, and then I'm gonna do like a final word at the end, just to sort of summarize a couple points. But yeah, Angela, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for hopping on this podcast, and I wish all the best for you and your salon and future ventures that you may have.
I thank you for that. Thank you so much for having me, Johnny.
No problem. Take care now.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. That's Angela Lewis from Hello Gorgeous in Groton, Connecticut. It was a pleasure having her on. Please feel free to like and subscribe to this podcast so you won't miss any of our upcoming episodes. The next one is going to be a doozy, so don't miss that. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care.